Good morning everyone. I welcome you all to my science class. In our previous class, we have learned that change in state by heating. So in today's class, let us move on to the next topic known as change in state by cooling. So what is the aim of today's class? Explain why cooling materials causes them to change their state of matter. So let us see how this happens. Before that, I would like to question, have you all seen rain? All of you like rain, isn't it? How is rain formed, children? Then, why don't we see dew drops on the leaves during winter season? Do you have answers for this? No. Why does water vapor changes into water on cooling? Have you ever thought of all these questions? Let us know about all these in today's class with an experiment to know what happens when water vapor is cold. Okay. So what I am going to do is, there is an activity for you. The procedure is as such. I have taken a beaker which contains water in it and I am using a spirit lamp to heat the water. As the water boils, what will happen? You have experienced in the previous class. As the water boils, the vapors will start coming out, isn't it? Now, I am going to collect this water vapor with a steel plate and by covering the beaker with a steel plate. So, what can you observe? Let us see. Come, join with me. So, here is the setup. As usual, this is the tripod, this is the spirit lamp, this is the mesh and this is the beaker. Actually, I have lit the spirit lamp and water is already heated. Can you all see the water heated here? I have covered this water with a steel plate. I have covered it with a steel plate. Observe this carefully. What is happening here? Can you see the bubbles coming here? Can you all observe the bubbles coming? Yes? So, why this bubble is coming? Because the water is heated. Boiling has taken place. So, when the boiling has taken place, the liquid starts boiling. What is the liquid here? It is the water. So, gradually what happens? Now, you just observe. When there is a liquid, what happens? The liquid is boiling and you can experience the... Look here, come closer. Look at this. What has happened in this plate now? Can you all see it closer? Yes? See what has happened to this experiment? Can you see? What is your observation? So water droplets are collected in this plate. How this water droplets came? Now look here. So as the water is boiling, can you see the vapors coming out? Can you see? Notice the vapor which is coming out. Can you see the vapors? And these water vapors I had condensed, I have collected. So hence what has happened? I found this kind of water droplets in my steel plate. Did you all understand? Now I will discard this experiment. So still you can see the water vapors coming out from this experiment. So what is our observation? So droplets of water is settled on the steel plate. Why it happened? Reason, on cooling. So when the water is boiling, you can see the vapors coming out, isn't it? So when it is cooled, how is it cooled? I have collected it in a steel plate. So under the steel plate, you find water droplets. So this is cooled water. On cooling, the particles of water vapors, they lose their energy. So when the water is cooled, the energy is lost from them and they start coming closer to each other. They start coming closer to each other. Since it was a vapor, it was in the form of gaseous state. The matter was in the gaseous state. When I condensed it, then it started to become water. It changed its form from gas to liquid form of water droplets. Did you all understand? So what is this process known as? This process is known as condensation. I repeat, condensation. So what exactly is condensation? A change in which a vapor or gas changes to a liquid on cooling is called condensation. So that is what we did now. So the water vapors, I collected them, it changed its form from gaseous state to liquid state. So this change is known as condensation. Understood? Now you imagine I collect this water in an ice tray and I put it in the freezer. So what can happen to the liquid water when I put the water into a refrigerator? When I put the water into the refrigerator, it becomes ice. It becomes solid ice, isn't it? So that is known as freezing. So it is a process in which a liquid changes to a solid. Liquid water changes into a solid when cooled, when it is cooled in the refrigerator. What happens actually there? The particles which was loose, they come closer once again from liquid form to solid form. That is the change which happens there. And some examples of freezing are water changing into ice or the fog formation in the nature or in the environment. Okay. So this is the difference between the condensation and freezing. In condensation, vapor or the gas changes to liquid. Whereas in a freezing state, the liquid changes into a solid. Clear to you all? Now, what are the similarities? What are the points which are same among the condensation and freezing? Similarities between condensation and freezing. Actually, this both condensation and freezing occurs only on cooling. See, when I condensed it, the water vapor droplets was cooled. Understood? Even while freezing, water becomes an ice when it is cooled. So, for this process, this two process happens on cooling. And these both the process, condensation and freezing, are a physical change because there is no new substance formed in it. And only the states of them are changing from gaseous state to liquid state, from liquid state to solid state. Did you all understand? Okay. Now, I am going to tell you the difference in a very easy manner between a melting as well as freezing. In melting, you are melting a solid into liquid state, providing heat. Whereas in a freezing, the liquid is changed into a solid on cooling. Okay. So, what about boiling and condensation? In a boiling, liquid changes into gas due to heat. Whereas in condensation, gas changes into liquid on cooling. Understood? Be very clear with these points, children. Okay. Moving on to the new words. Condensation, freezing. Now open your workbook, page number 30. So in page number 30, change in state, cooling. There is a question for you. First one. Ram woke up on a winter morning and went out to the garden. He observed droplets of water on the leaves of plants. Can we explain where this water has come from and how? What is the process called? Now this is the right season for you to think and answer these questions. Why does water vapor change to water on cooling? You have to write water vapor is converting into water on cooling. You have to write why. You have to give me the reason here. Look at the diagram of the water cycle. So this is the water cycle happening in the nature. This is how the clouds are formed and we get rain. So check the process shown. Melting, condensation, evaporation, precipitation. See whether all these processes are happening here. B question. Are these changes reversible or irreversible? Why? Can you get back the water again and again from this process? Whether it is reversible or irreversible, you think and you give me the answer with a reason. Understood? Then for your homework, you have to read your content book, page number 33 and 34. You are going to read page number 33 and you are going to look into the pictures of page 34. Understood? In page 33, you have freezing, condensation. This is a reverse of melting. It is a process in which a liquid changes to a solid when cooled. Water changes to ice is an example of freezing. Condensation. This is the reverse of evaporation or boiling. It is a process in which a gas changes into a liquid on cooling. Rain and dew are formed due to the condensation of water vapor. Did you all understand? Okay. So for better understanding, you read page number 33 and 34. So in today's class, we have learned that change of state in cooling. We have defined what is condensation, what is freezing, difference among them and the similarities between them. Okay, if you have any doubt regarding this class, you can ask me through Google Classroom. Thank you. Have a nice day.